Hello, and welcome to my review of WrestleMania. I know this is late, but my cameraman has been sick this week, so I gotta do this one on my own. I don't have a cameraman, it's sitting on top of my TV, so that's why it looks like this. Now, WrestleMania was this Sunday. We had a big party at my house with a couple of my friends, and we had a great time. However, WrestleMania this year was not as good as the previous three I've watched. Now, to start off with, the Unification Tag Team match, which I guess was going to be the curtain jerk for the show. I was right, it was the first match. However, it was a dark match, so we didn't get to see that one on pay-per-view live. That was just something they did for the fans, and Carlito and Primo won that match. And based on what I've heard, it wasn't that great of a match, but I did get that prediction right, so I was happy with that. Now, the next match was the Money in the Bank. It was an okay match, not as good as some of the previous Money in the Bank matches there have been in the past, but it was pretty good. I mean, Shelton Benjamin, he does some crazy stuff, and so does Christian when he tried to hit the Imperitor off the ladder. That was awesome, even though they botched that spot. But in all, it was a pretty good match. I was kind of upset that they didn't put Christian over, because Christian was my pick to win this. He deserves to be on the A or B brand, and I figured that would be a way for him to get it. But, you know, who knows? But all in all, it was a good match. If Christian did not win it, which he obviously didn't, I would want CM Punk to win, which he did, and he also repeated from the previous WrestleMania. So 3 out of 5 stars. Then we had a 20-minute Kid Rock concert, which was a complete waste of time. It was very boring. Me and my friends hated that part of it. Then we had the Miss WrestleMania Diva Battle Royal. A couple problems I have with this match was there was no entrance for the Divas. It was just, you know, they just came out there and did their thing. And it was hard to tell who was in there, because there was Divas in there that should have been recognized, like Sunny and Tori Wilson, Molly Holly, Jackie Gata, and they didn't get their entrances. And then the worst part about this was they put Santino Marella in drag, and he won the match. What is the point of having this Miss WrestleMania thing just to have one of your male superstars win it? I don't get it. So anyway, that was a bomb. I agree with Aaron Riff. So those of y'all who know who Aaron Riff is, then yeah, and y'all read his blog, and I pretty much agree that was a bomb. Then we had the Legends match, and this was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be, but it was just mostly because of Roddy Piper and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. More Ricky the Dragon Steamboat than Piper, because Ricky the Dragon Steamboat proved he can still go at 56 years old. God bless him. He went out there and put on a show, and he laid in those chops, and and they were saying on No DQ he probably was like, this is how it's done, and that was just great, because he looked like he hadn't lost a step, and he was doing phenomenal things. Then Mickey Rourke comes and gets involved, and that was okay. I expected it to be a little bit longer than he was, but he got one punch on Chris Jericho, and the punch didn't look that good, but it was okay for what it was. I enjoyed that match mostly because of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Hindsight's 20/20, so I mean, what can you do? Then there was the IC title match, which lasted all of 21 seconds, and you get the announcement that me and Ice and my cameraman were thinking that JBL was going to retire, which he obviously did, but he could end up back on the broadcast table in SmackDown. We don't know, since Taz left. But I'm not really going to give that a rating, because you can't really give a match a rating that only lasted 21 seconds. The Legends thing, it gets about 2.5, 3 stars. And this one doesn't really get a rating. It was just there for, timing or whatever. Then it was the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels match. this was the best match of the night. This match, me and all my friends, we were marking out, having a good time. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker put on the best match of their career, in my opinion. That was the best wrestling match I've seen in a long time. And it was just great, and they both took their spots really well, you know, and there was very little botched places, if any at all. I can't even remember any, and after about 4 finishers, you're wondering what else can these guys do, and Undertaker went over just as I thought he would, so I was really pleased with that match. Then we had the three-way for the world title. It was alright. It wasn't what I expected. Cena's entrance, however, was phenomenal. But yeah, it was just okay. And Cena won again. You know, big surprise. You know, like we didn't know. I don't understand what the thing is with Cena. He doesn't need to be champion anymore. So Cena wins that match. We're all shocked, and I'm being sarcastic, as you can tell. Then we had oh yeah, Matt versus Jeff Hardy was in there. I'm doing them kind of out of order, as you can tell. That was an okay match. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but I tell you, that thing with Jeff Hardy's throat in the middle of the chair, that was sick. That looked like that was real. You know, he's your brother, man, and go easy on him. You know, you don't crush your brother's throat. Not on purpose, anyway. Sorry about that. Then the world title, or the WWE title, with Triple H and Randy Orton. This match failed to deliver. It was very boring. You know, after all that build up for that match, and that's what we got. I mean, come on, Randy Orton and Triple H can put on a better show than that. It just, you know, the only thing cool about that match was Triple H's entrance. So anyway, in a nutshell, that was WrestleMania. And though it wasn't the worst, it wasn't the best one I've seen, it was by far from the worst. So, you know, all in all, probably a 7.5 rating. But most of those stars come from the Undertaker match. Because if you haven't seen this match, look it up. Or rent it, or, you know, whatever. Just for this match. Because I'm telling you, it was the greatest match I've seen in a long time. So, anyway, and those of you who watched my 12 rounds movie review on YouTube, it got very positive reviews. I thank y'all all for that, and there are more of them coming. Movies that will include Slumdog Millionaire, which I watched recently, Milk, which I watched recently, Zack and Mary Make a Porno, if I can ever, you know, get up to the video store and rent it, The Changeling, Australia, all those movies. If you have any questions about anything wrestling related, movie related, or you just want to ask me a question, feel free to. My email is dakotanow@yahoo.com, or my MySpace page, dakotanow@myspace, or, you know, /MySpace, whatever. And if you have a movie you would like for me to review, then send it in. I would be glad to do that. So until next time, see you later.